I think the body and the mind, it holds a lot of stress from the week, a lot of little minor things like stuff at work, someone cuts you up in traffic, relationship stuff, like lots of little minor things which you wouldn't even really give any attention to. And the brain is very good at redirecting you from the stress which you should be thinking about and you should be addressing straight to food. Now, one of the things I talked about in a recent episode of my Fastest Fat Loss podcast was that once you, after a while, you should learn to develop the ability to put a stop between stress and stress eating, and put a stop between and actually think about, why am I reaching for the chocolate on this evening or weekend or whatever. For some people, it can be stress. For others, it's just like a routine. For others, it is simply just boredom and they're looking for something to do. And if you look at the three big pleasures in life, which is eating, sleeping, and the other one, you know that it's one of the big three. So it gives people something to do, gives you something to look forward to. So I think those are the reasons why it happens. Now, in terms of how we can fix it, some practical tips. When I'm on a diet, I don't keep junk in the house, basically. I just don't. And if my partner wants some, she's lovely. She keeps it out of sight. Now, how nice is that? Like, how sweet is she? So, but she does that for me. She knows I'm dieting, so she keeps it out of sight. The only thing that I actually keep around, which I think you'll recognize this, Sunil, is my organic cacao nibs, organic cacao buttons. So I keep those because I like dark chocolate with like part of what I eat. So first thing is, you can affect your own environment, like in your house, or let's say your area of your house. You can just restrict what food is there. Ensure that you've got good, healthy options. And if any of you have watched my How to Stay Lean Forever video, you'll know that one of the large factors in diet sustainability is the easily accessible fruits and vegetables, easily accessible, quote unquote, healthy foods. You all know what we mean by that. So affect your environment as much as possible. And the second thing I would like to say is, if you are not in your environment, let's say you are going out, for God's sake, don't go out hungry. I also, like Sunil, don't like the idea of changing my routine during the week to accommodate a weekend. I think there's a massive disparity between the week and the weekend. It's a diet which is doomed to fail. Carry on with your diet as normal during the course of the week, whatever you're eating. And then if you are going to go off plan, then just go off plan. This is part of the whole big talk on flexibility, which I've been banging the drum on recently. This idea that flexibility is not just eating within your macros and calories. Flexibility is the idea that you can actually go off the plan. Because you know what? We're not all robots. And a plan for life should include periods of time and an acceptance that you will go off the plan. Okay, that's just what I'm trying to get that out there. A plan for life and flexibility is not just fitting it into your plan. That is not flexibility by definition. You can't say it is. So I think we've got to be mature enough to understand that every now and again we may well go off plan, but we just get back on it, get back on the plan the meal after. And I talked about that in my recent episode of Fastest Fat Loss as well. If you are having a rough time and you know there's a lot of events going up, just evaluate things meal by meal. If this meal was a bad one, put it behind you, get on to the next meal, make it a good one. Simple. And that way you're always keeping accountable. The last thing I want to hear from people is, you know what? It's Monday. I'm expecting to have a shit week. Screw this week off. I'll see you next Monday. We'll start.
Yeah, throw back at you.
Brilliant. So just some final thoughts from me. Hopefully we have added some value. That's what we try and do with these podcasts. I just talked a bit about what might be preventing you from seeing weight loss on the scale. Overwhelmingly, though, I just want to go back to a point that I said near the middle of the podcast. Time, you don't want to be wasting time when it comes to fat loss, because every bit of time that you waste is time you're not going to get back. And it's also time which you spend further ingraining potentially bad habits. So Sunil and I both coach. I have a few different ways that you can work with me. I do consultations. I have a very affordable group coaching model, and I also do one-to-one stuff as well if you need that extra attention. So if you do want to work with me, if you do want to work with Sunil, get in touch with either of us. We'll have our contact details in the description. If you're seeing this on my YouTube channel, I've got a Google Drive, a link for you to click on to fill in a form. I'll get back to you. But just get in touch. You'd be surprised. We get nothing but good feedback from our clients. You'd be surprised how positive an experience a good coaching can be, and how much time it can save. That's my final sort of thoughts on that. All right, Sunil, thanks for joining, and we will call it there, and we will see you next time. All right.